Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. Now today, I have an interesting video. It's going to be a little bit different from what I usually do, still Dragon Ball related. I'm going to be giving you guys my, I guess, sort of dream cast for a Dragon Ball Z live action movie. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I'd want to see a new movie, because I did do a video on if we need live action Dragon Ball Z, and I'll leave that in the description below. But mainly I'm just going to be giving you guys my cast, showing you images on the screen, comparing them to the anime counterparts, and I went pretty in depth about it. I had a lot of research, but let's get right into the video basically. Now, I had originally forgotten to mention that this video was suggested by a subscriber of mine by the name of Danny Trejo, not the actor, but it's a subscriber of mine, so I'd like to thank him for the video topic. But anyways, the first person we got here is Ron Perlman as Deborah. Now, I picked Ron Perlman because he could really do the voice, I feel like, if he tried hard enough, and he does have a really, deep voice. And he also played Hellboy in the Hellboy film, so there's definitely some similarities with Deborah there, so that's mainly why I picked him as Deborah. Now, Bulma, as well as some of the other characters, a few of them were a little bit tricky to find people for, and there will be some, obviously different opinions on these characters. But I picked Alicia Cuthbert as Bulma. I looked around at a lot of female actresses, and I was trying to find someone that was kind of tough looking, but had a niceness to them as well. So that's why I picked her. I mean, blue hair or purple, depending on which one I go by, the anime or the manga. More than likely it would be blue hair, unless you want to go by that Abomination Dragon Ball Evolution, which had that crazy hairdo for Bulma. You could pick whatever, but that's mainly why I picked her. She just had a toughness to her, but also looked, nice in a way, I guess. Now, I mainly picked American actors for this, whole list, but I was originally going to pick an Asian actor for Mercenary Tao, because I felt like that was more appropriate. Some of the characters are Asian actors because I felt like they're more appropriate for the role, but Mercenary Tao, I picked Danny Trejo, and I know he's kind of old, but he has played action roles recently, such as Machete, and he kind of has that look that Mercenary Tao has. I know he's a bit older, but I think he could do a really nice job with that role. Now, for these Asian actors, I'm probably going to butcher their names pretty badly, but for ChiChi, I picked Ziyi Zhang. I hope that's how you pronounce her name. I feel like ChiChi was appropriate to have an Asian actress because most of her clothing that she wears is very Asian inspired, and I felt it was appropriate to have an Asian actress play her, and I felt like she was the best one to do it, or to I guess represent ChiChi's image, I guess. Now, for Krillin, it was an interesting one as well because there were a lot of different people I could have picked from, but I came across the actor of the name of Abo Kin, or Quinn, whatever your pronunciation would feel free to do. He seemed to make a really good Krillin, especially like a Battle of Gods Krillin with that the hairdo that Krillin had going on, or he could do a bald Krillin as well, but I felt that Krillin needed a Asian actor to play him. I felt like that was more representative of him, in my opinion. But moving on to the next character. Now, the next one is Tien Shinhan, and I felt that the person to play the role of Tien would be Johnny Nguyen. He has kind of a quick and agile physique similar to Tien. We see Tien fights very fast in Dragon Ball, at least. Obviously, he gets outclassed later in the series, but he was one of the very fast fighters, and I feel like this actor has a very similar physique, I would say. Maybe not as muscular, but he does look very fast, so that's why I chose him to play Tien. Okay, now I'm gonna do a 3P or 4P here and get rid of the, not get rid, but talk about the most difficult and probably controversial choices that I have here right off the bat. Now, Gohan, I picked Skeet Ulrich. These next ones I'm talking about were really hard to pick because there weren't really any people that I felt jumped out as very good representations of their character. So I picked him He's kind of got the Gohan look in a way, but obviously we know, you know, anime translating to real life can be a difficult thing to accomplish and pick actors for. So I picked him. There may be better out there. I found it difficult to find one, but let's move on to the next one, which might be even worse for you guys. Okay, so for Vegeta, I decided to choose Jason Statham. Now, he's not American, he's from England, I believe, but, you know, Vegeta does have a little bit of an off voice in general, but I'm not saying his voice will be able to imitate Vegeta's at all, but he has the receding hairline, and, you know, and he has somewhat of that head structure, and Vegeta was a really hard one to pick for, especially, except for the next one, which was the hardest one to pick at all, of all of them. But, you know, he plays an asshole in a lot of his movies, but he also plays a badass, so I felt like that was definitely a good quality to have with Vegeta. So that's why I picked him. Now this one might get some heads rattled, possibly. I picked Sean Ferris to play Goku, and I wasn't familiar with Sean Ferris prior to this video I was doing, but Goku is a character that I can't find anyone that would be very well suited to play him, but Sean Ferris in my mind was probably the best that I could see. He kind of, not to sound a little weird, but, you know, he could move his hair in ways that could, you know, somewhat mimic Goku's hairstyle. Maybe he's a little bit younger, he's, you know, around 30, but he was the best that I could find, and I'm really curious to see actors that you guys know of that would make a good Goku. I mean, obviously leave your list for certain characters down below. Obviously, I would love to check those out, and we can, you know, discuss things. Now, for Yajirobo, it was an interesting one. I came up with two actors that were possible to play him. Jack Black, which maybe not necessarily would have this, you know, the look of Yajirobo, but would definitely be able to, you know, do the comedic effect and all that stuff. He would definitely be able to deliver on that front, definitely. And then the other one is George Garcia. If you've ever seen the show Lost, he was in that. He's in some other stuff now as well. Maybe he's a little bit too big, I guess, to play Yajirobo, but he has the look in some aspects, so that'd be an interesting one. Yajirobo is an interesting character to find an actor for. Now, I don't know who played Piccolo in the Dragon Ball Evolution movie, and I don't really care to know because, you know, he probably hasn't been in too much else. But I picked Idris Elba to play Piccolo. I felt like he's a phenomenal actor, first of all, but he's been in a lot of things recently, and I feel like he would definitely be able to deliver on the role of Piccolo, in my opinion at least. Now for Hercule or Mr. Satan, whichever you prefer to call him, I think it's kind of an obvious choice. I'm sure many people that have done lists in the past would have picked Hulk Hogan as well. I mean, his Mr. Satan's voice for the Funimation dub, Chris Rager, the person who voiced Mr. Satan, said he put a mix between his favorite pro wrestlers like Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and some others as well. So that's why I picked him, and he has a little bit of the look. Obviously, his hair's blonde, and Mr. Satan's isn't, but that can easily be, you know, dyed and all that stuff. Now, I know for a fact that Bill Goldberg is someone that everyone picks to play as Nappa, and to be honest, I haven't seen anyone that would do a better Nappa than him. He just looks so much like Nappa. He has the physique, the you know, facial hair, bald head. He is literally the perfect person to play Nappa, and I can't see anyone disagreeing with that. Now we're down to the last two that I have on my list in particular, and for Android 17, I decided to go with someone I've never heard of, Jamie Bauer. I've seen some pictures that he would make a phenomenal Android 17 in my opinion, because Android 17 is based off of a young man, and I've seen one picture in particular that he looked pretty much exactly like Android 17. I think it's kind of in the eyes. That sounds weird, of course, but something, you know, the androids had some very, you know, particular eyes that had been, you know, mentioned about in the series. They would always talk about their eyes and how, you know, soulless they would look. At least Trunks would go on about that. So that's kind of why I picked him. He definitely had the look, in my opinion. Now I'm going to level with you guys. Since this is the last one, let's end it off on an interesting note. For Android 18, I honestly just looked up hot blonde actress, and you know what? I got a lot of really good results, and I went over it for, you know, quite a few minutes, 10 minutes or so, trying to really look at the actresses. Then I came across one, just trying to figure out if that is the right one, and I came across Jessie Schramm, I believe it's pronounced. Definitely has the look of a young woman, beautiful young woman. That is what Android 18 is supposed to be. She has some similar features to the previous actor that played, that I picked for 17. So I definitely felt like this was a great choice for the character. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, definitely hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here and want to see, further Dragon Ball content. I may do something similar to this in the future. Whatever similar would be to this, I don't know. But that has been it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.